Olá pessoal, sejam muito bem-vindos aí então a mais um dia de futebol aqui em Budapeste. Eu vou trazer para vocês hoje aqui um vídeo muito especial, um vídeo muito legal que eu prometi lá atrás no primeiro vídeo que eu postei aqui no canal, que é para contar um pouquinho da história do Áron, que é um jornalista húngaro aqui que tem um time inspirado no Fortaleza. Então, para mostrar aqui um dia de futebol em Budapeste, numa divisão amadora, numa divisão aqui que é a quarta divisão do campeonato amador daqui da cidade, onde a gente tem um time chamado Erőd. Erőd em húngaro significa Fortaleza, até o escudo, você está vendo aí na tela, é praticamente a mesma coisa. E é uma forma que o Áron encontrou para homenagear, né, aí o time, né, do Lion of Pici, aqui em Budapeste. No caso, até brinquei com ele, o Leão de Pesti. E hoje eu vou estar mostrando para vocês um pouquinho, não só do jogo em si, como eu sempre faço, mas também para contar todas as histórias e todas as curiosidades incríveis e sensacionais desse time, né, dessa filial, vamos dizer assim, dessa homenagem realmente pro Fortaleza que existe aqui na Hungria. Bom, eu imagino que esse vídeo pode trazer aqui pro canal novos inscritos, novas visualizações, então deixa eu contextualizar um pouquinho. Meu nome é Valdir, eu aqui em Budapeste eu me apresento como Jordan, que é meu sobrenome, muito mais fácil, porque até no Brasil o Valdir já deixou de ser comum. Porém, eu vim aqui para Budapeste já tem um pouquinho mais de um ano, eu vim para finalizar meus estudos. E eu, como vocês podem ver, eu sou torcedor do Coxa, não só pela camiseta, mas também pelo nome do canal e tudo mais. E vamos dizer que tudo realmente começou no Instagram, primeiramente. Então eu tenho aqui a página no Instagram que está aparecendo aqui na tela agora, também pode dar uma olhadinha lá, você vai encontrar até com mais detalhes um pouquinho sobre a minha história, quem sou eu e tudo mais que eu estou fazendo aqui. Porém, no Instagram eu sou muito mais clubista, eu sou muito mais eu em relação a futebol, que eu sou clubista pra caceta, infelizmente. E lá eu mostro tudo isso, eu mostro minha rotina aqui em Budapeste, eu mostro um quadro que eu tenho, o CFC por Budapeste, que eu tiro fotos aqui da cidade com a camiseta do Coxa e tudo mais. E também, principalmente, mostro aqui a minha rotina em dias de jogos, né? Aqui a gente tá com 5 horas no momento de fuso horário, daqui a pouco vai voltar para 4, mas enfim. Geralmente um jogo das 9 da noite, aqui é 12h30 da manhã, eu tô assistindo e mostro como é que eu faço para conciliar minha rotina de trabalho, estudos e ainda assim conseguir assistir os jogos lá no Instagram. Aqui no YouTube eu usei o mesmo nome, tem a mesma identidade visual, vamos dizer assim, porém uma pegada completamente diferente, onde eu mostro para o Brasil, para o brasileiro e principalmente que eu comecei para minha família, um pouquinho de como é que é os dias de futebol aqui em Budapeste. Então já mostrei aqui dos principais times, já mostrei também da segunda divisão, da terceira divisão, e hoje essa história é bem especial, né, do Erőd, que atualmente joga a quarta divisão amadora aqui da cidade. Bom, mas enfim, né, um ponto que eu acho importante de mencionar logo no início é o seguinte, né, o vídeo hoje não é sobre Fortaleza, mas tem muita relação com Fortaleza, e como vocês podem ver, eu sou coxa branca. E eu sei que principalmente num ponto de vista de torcida, são dois times que não se dão muito bem, né, até por conta da amizade do Coritiba com a torcida do Ceará, e da amizade do Fortaleza com o Atlético Paranaense, que é o nosso rival. Então, por favor, não considerem esse fato pro vídeo, eu vou ser o mais imparcial possível, vou estar torcendo pro Erőd hoje e tudo mais. Mas também, né, hoje, o dia da partida, hoje é dia 21 de setembro, hoje o Coritiba vai entrar em campo 2 vezes, inclusive, mas até falei pro Áron, ó, vou estar lá de coxa, porque isso você consegue ver no meu Instagram, por exemplo. Sempre que o Coritiba joga, eu fico o dia inteiro de Coritiba. Mas eu tô com a camiseta azul aqui do coxa hoje, é o mesmo tom de azul do novo uniforme do Erőd, que vocês vão ver um pouquinho mais pra frente aí no vídeo. Então, só por favor, né, não fiquem irritados caso eu fale alguma coisa, eu vou tentar demonstrar o maior respeito possível. Porém, no mais é isso, eu sou um coxa branca, hoje estou com a camiseta aqui representando, mas só por conta do meu time e tudo mais, mas hoje aqui o vídeo especial pro torcedor do Fortaleza e também torcedor do Curitiba, né, não fique irritado comigo, torcedor do Ceará e tudo mais, não vou deixar de ser menos coxa por conta desse vídeo. Enfim, antes da gente ir para a partida em si, eu só quero, então, contextualizar um pouquinho mais ainda sobre essa história, sobre todas as curiosidades, como é que fundou, né, como é que chegou aqui na Hungria o Fortaleza, como é que foi fundado o Erőd. Então vamos ver um pouquinho da minha conversa que eu tive com o Áron, e aí sim a gente vai então pro dia do jogo. Bom, gente, estamos aqui com o Áron, então, sem mais delongas, ele recebeu a gente aqui na casa dele, vamos fazer essa entrevista aí, essa exclusiva, vamos dizer assim. Então, Áron, thank you very much for receiving me here to join this project for the channel. And basically, I want to hear from you, and I think everybody is curious at this time, about the story about you, about Erőd, and your relation with Fortaleza. So let's start for the beginning. Really, please tell me and everybody's watching about yourself. I can introduce.
Okay, so my story and not the other story.
Yes,
Okay,
first
your
story.
Okay, right. So basically, I'm just a guy like everybody else. I grew up liking football. I played a lot of football, like kindergarten and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time just playing, and even though I did that, I was never really good at it. So at one point, I think I was around 8 or 9 years old, I told my parents that I would like to do this, and I'm very interested in the whole thing. And then we went to various clubs for tryouts, but I wasn't really good enough. And they always, Budapest is sort of an important part of development in Hungary. A lot of big academies are here, a lot of teams that want to produce the best possible players for their team are here. So it's really hard to get into, and I was really never close enough for the level that was required. And so it remained as a hobby for many, many years. And then when I went to high school, I wanted to play for a team again. And that's where the first jersey comes into play, because this was the team that I called up. This team, just a short note, they had a big and nice history, and then due to financial reasons, their main team was dismissed, and it only functioned as a youth development center of some sort. And I was part of that. It had like zero money. The coach was asking us, basically begging us to just come to the games so that we have enough players, and it wasn't really the level that people may think about nowadays. But it was an important stepping stone in my story, and also for funsies, I also got my first number 22 here, which became sort of my number throughout the years.
The lucky number, stuff like that?
Not really. So another small note, I first didn't play football. I first played ice hockey as a like 6-year-old. And I played with my brother, who his lucky number is 12. And the little 6-year-old boy that I was wanted the same number. Obviously, that's not possible when you're in the same team. And then we had to go higher or lower. 13 has this stigma of bringing bad luck, so I went with 11. And when I got into the team, sadly, I was never really good at the game, so I had to choose a number that was available, because the regular starters got first choice. So 11 was out the window, and then I just doubled it. So I had to go with something like above 20 or something like this. It could have been like 21. My birthday is on the 24th, so there were a few options, but I was like, it's related to I kind of like the looks of numbers when it's just the same number twice.
I got it.
But yeah, I was 14, so it didn't have to be very smart, luckily for me. But I had this jersey, and then I went there through high school. Obviously, then I got too old for youth teams. I went to university, life happened, and then somehow, somewhere, someday, BVSC restarted from actually the same league or the same level where Erőd is right now.
Nice.
So like the bottom of the pyramid, absolutely. But they went around, asked for a lot of people who used to play there. Actually, most of my former teammates went there, the better ones. But they also had the youth setup. They also had the facilities. So in a way, they were actually in front of a lot of other teams, because on that level, most teams just have jerseys, and then people show up kind of, and you borrow a pitch for the games. But they had their own pitches, their own teams, their own youth, which is a huge help, especially for getting enough players. So they started to do that, and I went to games with a few of my friends who also was in the team like 1 year or 2 year, and it became sort of a habit. And after they won 2 back-to-back promotions, it was announced that they will have a reserves team.
Okay.
And I was like, that's my time to like go there, because there's no pressure. I just wanted to enjoy myself. I felt affiliated to this club, because in a way I didn't really think too much into it, but in a way this was the only club that accepted me, besides my abilities or what to say, and like gave me a chance to have this experience that I wanted as a kid. So I had some sort of an affiliation with it. And so I got into the reserves team, and that was also an important part of the journey, because I met with a lot of people that later joined our own teams. Okay. Specifically, I have to mention Tamás as well, who traveled to Fortaleza with me. Okay. Because he was the one. I will get back to that in a bit. Yeah, but he was there as. Okay. I think he was like 20 years old or maybe younger. So it was his like first few steps into senior football, or even at the lowest levels. Okay. But yeah, so I went there. I enjoyed. I only attended 1 season there because there was a power shift inside the club at that time, which I don't want to get into the details, and I don't know how many things are public, so I don't want to spread anything. But the point is, our coach was fired even though we won the championship, and that made a really bad taste for us, and basically the entire team just left, and so did I. And I don't really support Baby FC anymore because of that, but that's the beginning.
Okay, how you entered the football scene, I can say.
So this is how it sort of started, the whole thing, because once everybody left, some of them went with the coach to another team. I just took my time. It was more free time. I was still at university, so I had enough stuff to do. But 1 or 2 years later, I don't know exactly, then Tamás called me, and he told me that there's a team called Hungria, which his father used to play in, and it's sort of just the players got too old. They didn't want to go there anymore, and everything was set up, but it did not have players. And then because he knew people there, and kind of had this idea of like, it would be fun if he had his own team, because he became the coach and the player at the time. It was very funny because he was still very, very young. I don't remember exactly how much, but like early 20s we're talking about. So it's really he's a mature guy, so he managed to do that easy enough. From retrospective, I would say easy enough. If he told you the story, that might be a very different story. But yeah, he called me, and I was like, look, I'm happy to do it. I just want to play for a team where I feel myself, where I can play without worrying, because when you play with new people that you don't know, you don't want them to be mean about it. If you screw up, if this happens, that happens. I'm sure we all had some good and bad experiences with this. And he was like, yeah, no worries, it's just my school mates and like people I know, and I figured you might be interested, because there was when we knew that the coach will be fired and we would probably leave or do something, I said that we have enough. It was a group of like 30 people, so like we have a squad. We just why don't we do our own thing? That was funny looking back, because that's what we did at the end of the day. But at the time they were like, no, that's way too much work. You can't just do this and do that. Spoiler alert, you can. we just did, but that was back then. So that might have been a little bit of an inspiration for him. But yeah, so that's the second jersey with the 22, of course. It's just a plain jersey, pretty much. But that was for many years the place where we played and the jersey. And slowly but steadily, Tamás brought these baby FC boys in. So every year the team got a little bit stronger. And by the end of it, it got a little bit too strong. We also got promoted. So only in the fourth level of Budapest, only the champion goes up. So we won one of the seasons, went up, and unfortunately, that's where the president of that club was very active throughout this entire thing. And when he saw the success, he kind of wanted the success for himself, and he started to be an asshole about it. I'm sorry, but there's no other way to express it. Like, came in, harassed Tamás a lot, do this, do that. Then he fired him, and just ruined the whole thing for everybody. Because imagine someone coming into the dressing room and telling you the starting 11, and he named 10 people. And stuff like that. Like the very basic stuff he couldn't deliver. Like the most important, the basics was not available there. So it fell apart, and then obviously Tamás took it hard because he's been building this for like 3 or 4 years, and it was just taken away from him. So we were discussing for a long time, like, what do you want to do? What should we do? And I also mentioned to him, like, you know, we don't have to like stick to this team, to this president. If we do our own thing, we don't have to be bothered with anybody else but ourselves. So that's sort of what started the thing. I got him, like, he had 3 months of thinking time before sitting down and like calculating how much money we would need, asking around if people would be interested in that, because they had good experiences before the overtake. So it would be probably the same thing, just with another thing. So I would say that's what happened before on that subject.
And in that time that you met Fortaleza, right? Like, how this became a thing for you?
Yeah, so funny enough, things just happened the same, like the perfect order, because during COVID, sporting events stopped. So I work as a sport journalist, and when COVID happened and everybody had to like stay at home, and everything was discontinued, we didn't really have a lot to watch and work with. And at that time I was also kind of not really burned out, but I got a little bit bored with, like, we covered a lot of football, which I love, but it's always like top leagues and the Hungarian league, and after a while it gets a little bit repetitive. And I figured if I would follow a different team from somewhere else it doesn't have to be like a different continent. I have a little bit of an affiliation with the Norwegian team, for example, but it's in like the second division. It's through family, and it's an even longer story, but we don't have to go there for this. But anyhow, I wanted something new and refreshing, and I figured if I follow and support a team, then it gives you this edge of
like a new energy.
It's sort of more important then, you know, and you get to know the culture, you get to know the league a little bit, and like it's like you just suddenly put something under a magnifying glass, and then suddenly you're at the middle of it. So I'm really active on Twitter, and at a time I didn't really know how to start or what to do, but I had like a decent-ish following. So I asked there, like, suggest teams, and then I can pick something perhaps. So to speak, adopt a club for myself.
But like, you ask from Brazilian league or from
whatever. Just let me know, like, give me ideas.
So the odds is even
Yeah. I mean, I had like 700 or 800 people following me, so it wasn't like a huge thing. I didn't expect a lot of replies in general. I've got like a dozen, 10, 12, 14 max, I don't know exactly. And then I started to like check through all of them and like, you know what, it's really hard to pick because it doesn't really tell you anything when you look at it. Sometimes there's a funny badge or like an interesting name or something like that, but it has to somehow pull you in a way.
Your attention.
When you play FIFA or something, you feel the same. When you first play it, you're just randomly scrolling and you pick something that feels right. And then I started to check these, and there was a funny club badge I really liked. I don't remember the name by now, so I'm sorry. It's probably for the best because I don't want to be mean to that team anyways. It was like a minor theme, so that was very intriguing. But then I have a follower from Fortaleza, and he specifically like he was the most detailed to begin with, of like, this is my team, this is what it looks like, this happens, that happens. And Rogério Ceni was the head coach at the time, which we all know him because of the insane amount of goals that he scored as a goalkeeper. So that was immediately something to like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then I looked into it, and it looked like so I wanted to pick some club that is not the worst, not the best. Because if it just gets relegated and even harder to watch their games, then it's a problem.
I know.
If it's, I don't know, Palmeiras, Flamengo, these sort of clubs, then it's not as interesting to watch games from an outsider's perspective. So I needed something in the middle, and to be honest, Fortaleza was really bad at that first year I watched. I remember watching them and just barely avoid relegation. And the fans were really depressed at the time. I could see the tweets, and like I made silly memes at the time. But I got a little bit ahead of myself. So basically I went through the suggestions, and I liked Fortaleza the most, but like by a lot. Like it was very quickly, I was like, yeah, I would probably like pick this, but out of like respect and I want to be thorough, so let me just check everything. And I made like a short video of 2 or 3 goals that they scored, and just to announce it, sort of. That was basically just for me, for fun. And it somehow blew up in a little bit, because by now I understand that it's for them for someone to pick their club from Europe is a big thing. At the time, it did not make any sense. I just went to sleep, I wake up, and there's like 500 likes on it, and a lot of comments, and like, yeah, welcome. But it was also fuel for me, like just more fire, more fuel on the fire, because not only but the first thing I wasn't sure of, like, how would they react if I pick anything? Like, what is this random idiot wants? Why does he pose as if he is one of us? Or, you know, these sort of things. You don't really don't know what to expect. They were super kind and very very welcoming, and that was like, oh, okay. So we can have a conversation then, and like those things, and they really enjoyed that. So in 2021, after like life sort of continued after COVID, there was also a European Championship that was postponed from 2020 to 2021. And that was the European Championship that was all around Europe. It was unique because it's not like one or two countries. It was like 8 or 10. I don't remember exactly, because a certain amount was announced, and then one by one, some cities pulled out due to COVID, and like they felt like they can't do it. But Budapest remained. So I went to 2 games for Hungary and just one when there's the last of 16. Because that was also in Budapest. So So I went to these 3 games, and I think it was when I went to the last one. It was Czechia against the Netherlands.
Okay.
I figured it probably wouldn't hurt anybody if I brought a shirt, because by that time Brazilians or Fortaleza fans found me, and I was sort of this mascot. Oh, sorry, I didn't remember the word for a while. They saw me as this sort of a mascot, because I also watched a lot of games where we didn't lose, and they were like, oh, when he's watching it's good. And all these sort of things, and they also still love the idea of like someone watching from Europe. So there was one guy, unfortunately he does not have a Twitter account anymore, so I don't know if I can connect with him anymore. He was adamant that I have a shirt, because I have to have a shirt, and so that's just the new one that I can bring in, is this shirt.
Nice.
He told me that he wants me to have a shirt that is very significant to them, and the team that used this was really bad, according to my research. So that reminds them of how much the journey has been, like from that low to the heights of getting international football. So I had this thanks to that gentleman, and I figured might as well, if they enjoy me being a Fortaleza fan, it would be fun to bring this to a stadium, and then in the same time, like, look, it's Fortaleza at the European Championship. So I went to that game. It was very late at night. And when I was I took a picture, and when I was traveling home around midnight, so very late at night, I figured I might as well just post it, like, hey, look, I did this thing and so much fun, yay, hurrah. I went home, went to sleep, and when I woke up, it was insanity, like way more. Like I didn't check how many likes, but it really blew up. I got messages and notifications like constantly.
Nice.
Literally constantly. I had to switch them off because it was crazy. My phone could barely keep up with it, and then I tried to reply to people. Luckily I had a day off, so I had a lot of free time to do this. I wanted to, you know, not pose as an influencer or something like this. Like, I enjoyed this thing. And the funny thing is, I remember when I got to the end of it, someone messaged me that I already talked throughout the last half year. They're like, oh, the same thing is going on Instagram, you know that, right? I barely use Instagram, so I was like, oh no, that's like double the work.
I'm not there.
So it was really insane, and then it just kept happening, because then throughout the day, Fortaleza, the club itself, found the whole thing, and then they posted it as well. That's another influx of like a lot of people coming in. And then my entire day was like that. And then the next day, it was again very funny to me, because due to the fact that it was around Europe, they had these huge billboards, and they automatically sucked in like tweets, pictures that people take with the proper hashtags. And I don't know what algorithm they use, but I'm thinking because it got so many likes and retweets, it alerted. So the way it worked, it randomly posted these things and put it up on the billboard itself, like a huge commercial in general. And then you get the notification of like, hey, you are today's Euro hero, or something like this. So the next day in the morning, I checked my phone, and there was this message of like, hey, you are the Euro hero. So randomly, the picture I took with the Fortaleza jersey in Budapest just was shown for half a day in Glasgow, in Scotland. And of course, it also blew up again. So the whole thing just happened again. So it was at that point it got a little bit out of hand in my opinion, because there were a lot of people messaging me, and also Fortaleza wisely tried to capitalize on the traction of like, hey guys, do you think we should send like a new jersey to him, and which one do you think should be, and people were really pushy about it, like, no, you give him all the jerseys and like immediately and fly him there, and like I was like, okay guys, you need to chill a little bit. I know they did this out of love, and like they wanted something nice for me, and I was grateful for them for this, but it was a little bit overwhelming, and I started to feel bad because it felt a little bit too aggressive. I did not receive anything by the end of it. That doesn't, I don't mention it because I'm angry or something like that. Absolutely not. It's just in a few days it died out, but I did receive a lot of followers from Fortaleza, like
get to know you,
1,500 or something like that, and then they really followed me, and then we discussed things when I watched games, and I tried to watch games and like tweet about it, because that's sort of the dynamics that you can, that's how you can connect with them. Obviously I can't meet them, we don't really speak the same language, or when someone tries to dribble and falls to his ass, then I can make fun of it, so we both understand that. So we had our common jokes, and these things happened, and in the meantime it was 2021. It was that time when Tamás was thinking, should we do our thing, should we not? And by the end of April or middle or early May, I don't remember exactly, it was like, okay, let's do it, but we needed to do everything in like 2 months. And there's a lot that you have to register the club officially as this amateur club. You have to have a quote-unquote headquarters, and then you have to sign a lot of papers, so it's a very long and tedious thing to do. And we had to come up with a name, a logo, like these sort of things. And we had nothing. The only thing we knew is the players we wanted to work with or do this with, and that we want our own club, and we had like nothing to go on. And this European Championship craziness was somewhat recent when we talked, and I remember we have a team called Kisvárda in Hungary. Right now it's a top division team, but it used to be more of a yo-yo team, and they had a badge similar to a Mexican team. And I remember vividly that they just changed their logo when we were discussing our team, and Mexicans were upset because they loved it. They loved the fact that we have a Hungarian team there, and like all these things. So it really gave me this inspiration of like, we don't have anything to go by, why don't we just go ahead and try to be like the little brother, like the Hungarian Fortaleza, or so to speak. I can probably, by that time I had journalists reaching out to me, so I figured I could probably reach someone at the club to ask permission, and then they know about us, and it's not like those stories when 20 years later Juventus is like, no, you can't use that in the third division of Romania. No, it's our badge. Because these things can happen. So I pulled some strings here and there, and then we got confirmation that, not written, but they were like, yeah, sure, okay, thanks, you can do that, that's awesome, fantastic. And then that was kind of it. We had a little bit of an issue because there are some legal things. For example, if I use the name Budapest in the club's name, then I need to have a paper from the governing things of Budapest, of like the mayor, that yes, you can use it, I approve. And obviously it's very difficult and long to get that from Fortaleza, so we couldn't use the name, and that's why we translated it to Hungarian, which is the Erőd, which is not, to be honest, from a journalistic standpoint, it's not a good name because it's kind of standard. There are expressions like you want to make your home ground a fortress,
Okay.
for example, which would mean that you have good results at home games. There are teams that sound familiar or similar, but not exactly that. So if you Google it in Hungary, it gives you a lot of things, not just us, and you need to scroll for a while to find it. If I Google like Erőd Fortaleza, then almost immediately it makes the connections and then it finds the thing. So from that standpoint, it's not a really good name. By now, we kind of grew to like it, but that's more or less how we did this thing. And obviously that was also it was just really nicely timed, because first there was the initial shock of a European there. That's the first group of people following. Then we had the European Championship craziness. That was also a lot of people joining. Then the aftermath of the European Championship, that was also that. And then like 3 weeks later, I could announce that yes, we actually made an entire team. That was also blowing up, and then a lot of people started to message us. The first season, I got like journalists coming to my DMs asking questions about the whole thing, and there's a few articles about us from that period of time. I also sometimes I run the Twitter account of Erőd, because we also wanted it to be out there so people could connect to it and like talk to it as well. And then I tried to make jokes and all that. And I remember the first time people are shocked that this thing is happening, and then they are checking of like, what the hell is that? And for some reason that was I really enjoyed that, and also it's weird to me, but somehow the moment people were like, okay, this is legit, the first time we got a lot of messages and comments about how we should hire Rogerio Ceni for the team, but at that time he already left for the second time, I think, maybe just the first time, but anyways, he already left Fortaleza. And I made the joke of like, he would be awesome and wonderful, but we are scared that if there's a Hungarian Flamengo team, then he would be moving there instead. And they were loving it, and it was, I guess it kind of proved that we know what's up with Fortaleza, or like at least recent history, we are aware of it, and not just somebody taking the logo and I found it really funny how, because that super positive responses came, because I'm trying to be respectful. We sometimes have a few Ceará fans being mean about it. I remember seeing like Palmeiras fans. I talked to a Flamengo fan in Budapest, and he likes it too. So the way I see it, most Brazilians just like the story, and it's kind of random. Well, I'm not kind of, it's very random. It's very unique of a story, and they enjoy that, and also the Hungarian-Brazilian connection is really nice. I forgot to show, we also got this jersey back then.
This is like the first.
This is the first, yeah.
Nice, really nice.
We
also 22.
We wrote it, yeah, it had to be. It just had to be.
Nice.
So that's kind of what happens. We always got a lot of messages for these jerseys, which is very funny, because it's just a plain, like it's one of the most basic jerseys that you can order from these sellers. Unfortunately, it ran out immediately, so we bought some, and then we had to buy some extra, and then we could never buy new ones because they stopped making these specific shirts.
Specific design stuff.
But the Brazilians really wanted them, and we can't really legally sell things on our own, because as an amateur club you have some legal things that you have to follow. For example, we can't stream our games at all. I can record it and later stream it, but like a live stream is not possible. Only the federation is allowed to do that. I also did a lot of research on Fortaleza, not just the club, but the city itself. And weirdly enough, Ceará and Fortaleza has a little bit of a Hungarian heritage itself. because there's an architect who did a lot of things, Emiliano Hinco.
Okay.
And there's a university in Ceará, and they teach Hungarian there. So there are. I had zero clue. No, I didn't even know where Fortaleza is until someone suggested it to me.
Okay.
So it was very, very random, but I liked the whole thing because I could see that people got really interested and excited about the entire thing. They posted a lot of comments when we posted our results. I was really scared when we first lost, because then what will they think? We're ruining their image or these things, but they were super like nice about it all the time. Every now and then one or two mean comments were there, but that's just the internet. Yeah, pretty much. So that was pretty nice. Then our players started to bring their jerseys to various stadiums, and it was always fun to
see that.
To post it, because they were really excited about that too. The hard thing is really to make this connection, because they know me kind of well by now, because I had like interviews and videos and various things to show up, and they kind of know, not everybody, because I still get like comments of like, hey, this and that, see, have you seen this guy? What is that? And then it doesn't reach to everywhere. But yeah, at one point I told Tamás, who slowly had to remain in the background due to work reasons. He works every weekend, so he can't really be there anymore. But he helps me with a lot of things, and he's around, but he had to
like in the game,
shift his focus. And I told him that, look, I'm sorry, but we have to go to Fortaleza. Like you can't. We have to. This is crazy. We just have to, and we have to like save up money for it. And you know, I had the money earlier, and he told me to go, and I was like, no, without you again. He's the one who originally called me for this other team. So without him, this whole Erőd thing does not happen. So you have to come with me. And then we saved up some money and went in 2024 in November. And then of course that's another like insane memory by now, unfortunately. I kind of want to go back, and I kind of don't. Right? If you do it too often, then it loses its spark a little bit. And we went for 10 days, so we looked around. We really made sure to check everything and not just pop up and just go home. Especially because it's a very long trip.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do that, you kind of want to make the most of it. Yeah. So we went there. Somewhere we brought the jersey as well, but they didn't recognize a lot of times. But they started to ask like, this looks like Fortaleza, but we can see it's some fucked up version of it. Like, what is that? But you know, they speak Portuguese. We don't speak Portuguese, so it was a little bit of an issue at times. But everybody was very welcoming, very nice about it. We absolutely enjoyed our time there. And of course, I had to. By that time, I had a contact with the club itself, and I was asking if it was possible for them to help us to get tickets. I wanted to buy tickets, but I don't speak Portuguese, so I figured like, where else to ask questions if not the club itself, if we have contacts. Immediately they were like, we have tickets for you, don't worry about it, you're our guest. And then they reached out to do this and that. The scary thing was actually that we checked when to go for watching some. We wanted to watch a game that was meaningful or like a well-known team or something like that. And we also wanted to go in November because it's rather cold here, and it would be very nice at the beach. And we wanted to go to this Fortaleza Flamengo game. but we booked the tickets in like February or March. We had no
Okay.
idea what
No clue
the
what team.
you know what the stakes are at that point.
Okay.
And by the time we went there, not only was it still possible to win the entire championship, so extremely good season,
Yeah, exactly.
but they also moved the match one day.
Okay.
And just before the travel, I told Tamás, like I called him, like we have a little bit of a situation
Okay.
because I'm not going to Fortaleza for 10 days to not watch a game.
Yeah,
so
makes
we
sense.
have to pay more money, but we have to do
You
this.
need to do this.
But that was literally the last night before
Yeah.
we went there, and I checked randomly the results just to have an idea, because unfortunately around that time I couldn't follow the results properly. And I wanted to check what happened, and like, yeah, then this is the game. And hold on, that was a different day.
Okay.
What is I think some Brazilian Cup game
That
was the
changed.
issue there,
Nice.
and then it pushed everything a little bit away.
Okay.
But that was an issue for us,
Okay.
and then luckily we had enough money to pull it
Reschedule.
off. And like, I'm so happy that I actually checked,
Okay.
because that was super
If it
random
wasn't
and like
about this.
absolutely just luck. So that was a little bit scary, and then it was a little bit unlucky because Fortaleza played during the weekend, and then this was on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So they went to Rio, and then they moved back to
Okay.
Fortaleza,
Okay.
and then I think their schedule was a little bit
Yeah,
busy, so they didn't have a lot of time for, not just for us, for themselves probably. And again, it was during a season when, or a period when it's like the last few matches, there's still a chance to win the championship if you win like every game. It was a rough situation for them, I think, but they were very, very nice and welcoming. And like we went to the main training center. They showed us around. They were very, very nice about it. So we kept telling them, we're normal guys. We just want to check things. But whatever you want to show us, we're more than happy to check it. And they even told me that they usually don't let like influencers get in there because they don't want information to get out. And if you let one in, then you have to sort of let more in and like this. But they felt like this story had to be covered in a way, because it's just so unique. And like the weird experience is that they really knew who we are. Like the president messaged through someone that we cannot leave the center without saying hello to them. And then they were talking about that they were always checking the results of Erőd and stuff like that. And like we went to the match as like special guests as well. And we stood there, you know, when the team's arriving with the bus, and then you can see the players coming in and the coach coming in, and they sort of pushed us like in front of them in Erőd shirts.
Nice.
And then Chinga, who was the captain back then, he started to like walk away, and then from the corner of his eyes he noticed the shirt, and he turned back and was like, hey, I don't know what he said exactly, but he noticed our amateur club shirt, which is insane to me. And then came back and shook our hands, and they were super nice about it. They filmed us during the whole day. It's up there in the Fortaleza channel, so it's not I'm not ruining any surprises by now.
Not a spoiler.
Yeah, not at all. And then we were even put up in the big screens during the match, because they asked us to wear the shirts, and there were random people coming to us taking pictures. So it's a very weird feeling when you're like a regular person that never gets noticed, to here and there people coming to you of like, hey, you're that guy. And I am, but why do you know about me? You know, this is a weird feeling. And we didn't only go to this main match, which by the way was a 0-0 result, which was a really bad result, and almost nothing happened in that game. So it was an unfortunate game to attend to, but it was still a very memorable experience. Like, it's a huge stadium.
I'm sure there's like a lot of
very
people
unique.
in this game.
I like the the lighting works.
Okay.
It's a very
And the stadium
it's
is-
something that we don't really do in Hungary, so
Okay.
it's a very different experience altogether.
And the stadium itself is very beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never been to,
Yeah.
but it's very, very.
I really enjoyed it. But yeah, we didn't only go there. I checked the internet, and then it turned out that there's a Reserves Cup game,
Okay.
which just happened to be Fortaleza EC.
Okay.
It was like sub 21 or something
Okay.
like this. Don't know
And
exactly.
there-
I'm sorry about it. And it wasn't in the big stadium, but it's like they're
I know
all-
the stadium.
I told Tamás that hey, there's this game. We can check that. That would be
Okay.
fun to see a very different level of
Okay.
football. He loves football anyway, so.
Uh-huh.
We went there. There was like, I don't know, 40 people, something like this.
Okay.
Very small attendances.
Uh-huh.
We even got recognized there
Okay.
a few times when people came there, and like some of them just said hi and were really respectful of our personal space.
Okay.
Others wanted to say hi or
Okay.
asking like, what is this language? That because we
Okay.
spoke in Hungarian,
Okay.
not used there.
Sure.
It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun there. But when we were walking on the street, nobody knew who we
Okay.
were. So it was a really nice experience because we got to be tourists, and then we had these crazy 2 days
Okay.
essentially around the club, because I also had contact with like the sporting director.
Okay.
There was a guy who did a lot of things. I don't even know his official position. The media team was absolutely wonderful to us, and like we really felt cherished and
Nice.
welcomed. And I also bought this jersey that I really loved. It's for an anniversary.
Uh-huh.
And then
Right.
I've been so Alcides Santos is the guy who founded Fortaleza,
Okay.
the club. So they kept telling me that I'm the Hungarian Alcides Santos
Okay.
because I
Very nice.
started there. So
Yeah.
I
The
figured
Fortaleza Hungarian.
I figured this had to be bought because
Okay.
I also really liked, and
really
it's a
nice.
very
These are
unique,
Very beautiful shirt also.
and it's more recent than the one I
Okay.
already showed. So
Yeah.
that's sort of what happened. The unfortunate part was that with the group that we played with for years as Erőd,
Mhm.
I got tired. I mean, people doing this as a hobby
Okay.
after work, after school. When you do it for a certain amount of time for years, after a while it's getting tiring
Mhm.
because you don't really have as much free time. If you go if there are trainings, you go to trainings. That's also time. If you go to matches, that kind of eats up one day from the weekend. So you already have just one day at the weekend to relax. And then some of them have kids, and they want to spend more time with their family. Totally understandable. These things happen, but it sort of happened way faster to us than we
Okay.
expected. So we unfortunately had to step down for one season.
Mhm.
And now we restarted with a brand new group of players. Like we have 4 people that remained, and then everybody else is
Everybody.
brand new. But because I went to Fortaleza and had some experiences, I was asked. The tables have turned. Now in Hungary, people started to ask questions like, "What is that? How did this
Okay.
happen?" I wrote an article about my experience and like the whole story. And somebody reached out to us that started to make jerseys himself, and he was like, "Maybe we could supply you
Nice.
with jerseys." And that was always an issue that people always wanted to get Erőd shirts for showing support and I don't know, maybe financially help as well. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure just to they think it's awesome that
Yeah.
we exist and they want a
Pretty
shirt as a memorabilia.
Uh-huh.
But we couldn't, as I mentioned, we
Okay,
couldn't
like-
do that. But we were starting to running out of these shirts as well because we gave it to players and then they took it home, and when they stopped playing, they stopped bring it back. So
Okay.
that was an issue, and we knew that sooner or later we're gonna need something new. I wanted some solution to maybe perhaps bring it to the fans so they can have jerseys as they wanted. So So this was the perfect moment for them to come in. This was like in February. Our season starts in September. So there's time to figure things out, to learn things out. We had some meetings, very good, very positive outcomes. We discussed like how much would it cost us for just these basic set of jerseys to have, and then the extras are a later story. As of our chat, so when this is being recorded, there is no agreement yet on selling the jerseys, but we are negotiating how to exactly do it. So hopefully the plan is to make it available if people want them, because now this was a very good partner for us, because we could ask anything. So we went with the Lion, which was not yet adopted for Erőd until now. So we get to have that. And I can show you, maybe you can zoom in or show later. I thought it would be a nice touch to put something there, sort of like showing that it's the same badge, but the different years of creating the clubs. There was one particular person reaching out to me, telling me that this is wrong and put it away. You don't need that. Fortaleza is not black. This was useless. Get rid of it.
I got it.
One person. Everybody else loved the Lion. I felt really good about putting the Santiago cross there as well, because the city always uses it as well. So, I didn't want to. Basically, these were sort of my ideas to get on the jersey. I didn't want it to be like a lot of random stuff just thrown around, but I did want to make a little bit of a connection. I want it to be a little bit meaningful. Some people told me to use the different shape of the badge, because sometimes it's the rounded one, so that it doesn't look so close with Sao Paulo. That's also a thing, but like, look, I can't change our jerseys every year because it's a lot of money and lots of other things. Maybe in the future we can get like an alternative jersey. We have some ideas for that as well. So maybe we can in the future do that. But that's sort of how this story evolved. Now it's more of a step back and a restart. But I mean, as long as I can do this with energy and time, I will do this. This is my love letter to Fortaleza, if you will. They were super welcoming. Basically, what I learned about Fortaleza, the club, the people there, they were always very welcoming, and they didn't really bother. Like, it didn't really matter where I came from. The whole thing was like, hey, that's a guy from somewhere else who took us. That's awesome. Let's support him. And I really like this open-mindedness and this passion that they show. And I kind of try to implement that into our own miniature version. So I want it to be welcoming. I want it to be a nice place to play football at. They often joke about how we should just climb the ladder and go to the Champions League and those kind of things. To be honest, I'm more aiming for staying in this amateur level, because it has a lot of issues. I see a lot of problems, and there needs like the whole amateur community needs people who do the right things, so we could get rid of the wrong things and the wrong people. And I feel like more connected to that. It's way more of an honest and raw world than professional football. There are less people act differently. Basically, like they are not coming for the money. They want to play football. They want to win, of course. When teams don't win or lose heavily every week, then it becomes an issue. But not because fans come and make noises, but more like the players lose motivation. It's not fun to always lose, so you have to work these things out. But that's what I like about it. It's like a lot more honest and personal for everybody.
Okay.
And so I want this team to be more like established in Budapest and like show that you can do the right thing, and it's not always about what you achieve on the pitch, but more like what you represent, what you can do. And I kind of want to like represent Fortaleza in that way, so that what I experience, which I know it's just one part of, or like not the entire picture, but what I grew to like and adore, I kind of want to build that here, and it's also fun. Like when you play at this level, best case scenario, you can play a match and there's like 200 spectators or something like that. We have thousands of people watching the results and like hundreds of comments about it. It's not the exact same, but I think it's a unique opportunity. Like that's what I'm by now. I'm the coach as well. I'm always telling the players like this is a gift. Really, like you can make a lot of people happy just by playing football. So it's like the good part of being a footballer if you're a professional without any pressure, because I mean it's still amateur football. If we lose 20-0, it's still just amateur football. Nobody got harmed. Maybe our pride, but this is football. So next week you can push back and you can try to rework it. You can try to do something else, and that's really nice. And I also, when I started this whole Adopt a Club thing, I didn't know how long I would find it entertaining. I was a little bit scared of like doing it and then I lose interest and it just dies out. I didn't know what to expect, but it's been a lot of fun, and I don't, but right by now I don't feel like stopping ever. I can't watch every game. It's like, I mean, you live here, so you know the time difference by now, so it can be very problematic. I want to keep supporting them. I want to go back every now and then. I want to watch or check other parts of Brazil, because now I'm way more intrigued by the whole thing. It's a lot of money, time and effort to go there, so you can't really do it very often. But it would be fun to I feel like this is the starting point.
Nice.
You can probably, there's a huge Brazilian community in Budapest already. I want to somehow reach out to them as well. I'm still trying to find ways to contact, but to keep in touch with Fortaleza, with the fans, with Brazilians here. It's a very hard thing to do, especially with the language barrier most of the time. But I feel like this could be something very meaningful, because when there's a lot of people asking me like why I'm still doing it, especially when the whole we had to get rid of the players and like this whole restart. I wasn't even sure myself I want to restart because it's been so long, but I felt like I owe Fortaleza this thing. And by the time we went to Fortaleza and we had a lot of good experiences, that was like, yeah, let's do this, and like I want to do this. And that's usually that's my answer. Like I got a lot of positive experiences from Fortaleza. I kind of feel like I owe them to do as much as possible. If this collapses one day, I still want to be able to say like, look, I tried everything that I could. That was the most I could do. If it wasn't enough, then it wasn't enough. But I can relax because I did everything I could. But right now, I'm still feeling like this is my heritage in a way. Like you want to do meaningful stuff in life. When you look back, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But when I grow old, and maybe this is a more established club with like youth teams, or just a team that is well known in Hungary, for example, then I can look back with a lot of pride of like, I built something that represents something that is meaningful, and did not just let it go and like someone else can build whatever they want.
So Áron, thank you very much once again. not only for the interview, but also for the whole video. E pessoal, vocês que estão interessados aí no Erőd, fica aí a recomendação novamente, o Instagram está aparecendo aqui embaixo na tela. É uma ideia, como vocês viram, muito aleatória, que tem muito sentido, tem muita importância para eles e também, de certa forma, para o Fortaleza. Então, agora vamos dar continuidade no vídeo, vamos ver um pouquinho como é que foi o treinamento antes do jogo. Bom, hoje é dia 17 de setembro, uma quarta-feira. Eu tô vindo aqui agora acompanhar um pouquinho de um treinamento, de uma sessão aí de treino, né, do Erőd. Então, para pegar um pouquinho desse momento também pré-jogo e mostrar para vocês aqui no vídeo.
Okay, so we're here after the training session. It's late at night on Wednesday. We come here every week. We used to have no training sessions, actually, which is very doable on this level that we restart again, which is the 4th level in Budapest. And so we just finished training. It's late at night because people do this as a hobby after school or after work. They came here. That was an alright number of players coming. We have very enthusiastic players now, which is very nice compared to the last few years when they were really motivated, because they have been doing this for many years. Every weekend was done playing football, and after a while you get a little bit tired of it, but these guys did so much better. I can see them improving in a few things. We've been working together since 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. And fortunately, I can see a few signs of development here and there. I've seen the opposition that we will play on Sunday a few weeks ago, but I know that they have some new players, so I don't know exactly what to expect. I'm hoping that we can be good, we can be competitive, so hopefully we can win, but I'm not gonna be too sad if it's a close call and whatever the result. You never know on this level what to expect, really, unless you go and watch them every week. So what we usually do on training sessions is that I give them a lot of drills to touch the ball a lot of times, because when you play football you actually don't have a lot of touches on the ball, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. It boosts your confidence on the pitch, which is a good thing, and it can generally speaking improve an entire team if players feel more confident on the ball. So that's what we did. We had some drills that we do for transitions, because on this level counter-attacking is very, very dangerous. So I want to teach them to avoid it, to stop the opposition to counter-attacking you. And basically just quick decision making, because that's also a big thing on every level, that if you take too much time with the ball, then you can get dispossessed, and it's always an issue. So those are the things that we try to improve and do again and again and again. This is kind of standard to this level, I would say. Some teams do have training sessions, some teams don't have training sessions. We're sort of in the middle.
So that's where I'm expecting our season to be, sort of in the middle. Hopefully we can put some good results together. But the guys are telling me that they're very excited to finally play the first match. So hopefully we can do something special.
Fala galera, eu sou o Pedro, tenho uma página no Instagram chamada Fortaleza Realista e como torcedor do Fortaleza é emocionante saber que lá na Hungria existe um time que carrega nossa essência, nossas cores, que é o Erőd. Pra mim é como se o Fortaleza tivesse ganhado um irmão gêmeo do outro lado do mundo, né? A gente sente orgulho, porque não é só sobre futebol dentro de campo que nos representa, mas tem toda a história, a paixão e a identidade do Fortaleza que a gente vê aí que consegue atravessar fronteiras, né? E ver o Fortaleza inspirando e sendo representado por pessoas tão apaixonadas é a prova de que nosso clube realmente é único e especial. Então é impossível não sentir orgulho disso e desejar todo o sucesso do mundo. Rádio Erőd.
Bom, vamos lá então, né? Estamos de volta aqui pro dia 21, dia do jogo aqui do Erőd. Agora eu tô saindo aqui de casa, perto aqui de 1h30 da tarde. O jogo começa às 3h30, mas eu combinei com o Áron de chegar um pouquinho mais cedo ali para fazer, né, umas filmagens, para conversar também um pouquinho com ele, trocar uma ideia. Mas é isso, eu moro no segundo distrito aqui em Budapeste e o jogo é muito próximo do campo do Vasas, que é um time aqui que joga a segunda divisão na Hungria. Estádiozinho bem massa também, já fiz o vídeo lá. E não é tão perto aqui de casa, mas para ser sincero também não tem muita coisa aqui perto de casa. Mas eu quero, né, já pedir também para você aqui que é novo no canal, tá chegando aqui através desse vídeo, para se inscrever, para curtir aqui esse vídeo e também comentar o que você achou, porque me ajuda muito, né? Então é isso, vamos pro jogo. Bom, já cheguei aqui, né, no campo que o Erőd manda seus jogos. Eles estão fazendo um trabalho aqui de aquecimento agora antes desse jogo começar. Falta alguns minutos apenas. Então é isso. Toda boa sorte aí pro nosso querido Erőd.
Akkor is többen voltak nézők, Nesse tudo, mas gosto. Gosto para legal, mas gosto. Pode existir. Ah, só Deus, eu amo você da moda, eu traço a sporikát is kell, és vezetett volna nekem a csak az. Az is vezetett volna nekem a csak. Mese szarja szerintem. És nem van. Dolgozom el. Köszönöm, hogy megsértem. Tudtuk, hogy én szülök. És nem tudok nekem. Az jó lesz, kapus, az kapus. Nem baj, jó lesz! simán meg.
Gyerünk, Zoli! Jó!
Puta que pariu, velho. Meu Deus do céu, que defesa do Varela.
Esse veio aqui. Ez nem lesz? Tűz, Zoli! Eléri a kapus. Jó, bravo, ennyi kell! Érkezz már közelebb. Ez nem érkezik. A 11-es ez nem jött. Ezt fejelj! Az megvan. Kettő ember, ez 6 ember. Amúgy jó. Ragman kell a fel. Az jó. De most mi a fasz?
Bom, agora intervalo de jogo, o Erőd vai sendo derrotado nesse momento. É uma partida um pouquinho mais complicada, tem muito ponto que não está a favor, vamos colocar assim, hoje pro Erőd. Por exemplo, hoje é a primeira partida que eles estão jogando, porém já é a quarta do campeonato, então os outros times já têm um pouquinho mais de entrosamento. É a primeira vez também que eles jogam junto, então essa questão de entrosamento realmente não é um ponto favorável ainda. E segundo ponto é que eles estão somente com 11 jogadores hoje, então não tem gente para fazer substituição. O time visitante ali está com 2 jogadores no banco, também não estão com muita gente, mas consegue ter 2 ali para substituir, né, nesse segundo tempo. Então tem esses pontos negativos, além de que também hoje está um dia bem bonito aqui, como vocês podem ver, em Budapeste tá sol, tá bem calor, tá 30 graus aqui, essa sensação térmica agora. Ali dentro do gramado, que é sintético, tá maior ainda. Então tá um dia complicado para você jogar uma partida aqui de futebol somente com 11 jogadores e não ter, né, essa substituição para fazer. No mais, o time tá jogando bem, com essas limitações por conta de tudo que aconteceu. E vamos ver o que rola nesse segundo tempo aí então.
Nagyon jó, könyörgöm pont vissza, 9-es. Nem baj, nyugi bebassza. Úgy de finom. 9-10 van, nőtt be légy kurva életbe, bazd meg! De ez szép volt legalább, ez valami... Gyere, 2!
Mit csinálsz?
Passzod vissza, könyörgöm!
Édes.
Legyen a szed. Na, mész takni. Hát kapus, talán.
Bom final de jogo, então o Erőd foi derrotado nessa primeira rodada aqui da 4ª divisão de Budapeste. Infelizmente o cansaço pegou demais aí eles. Porém é isso, é começo de temporada, tem muita bola para rolar ainda durante todo esse ano aí de 25-26. E vamos ver como é que vai ser aí os próximos jogos. Vocês podem também acompanhar o Erőd através do Instagram deles, que eu tô deixando aqui na tela agora. Bom, anoiteceu, depois que acabou o jogo ali, fiquei trocando uma ideia um tempão com o Áron, até assisti um pouquinho do outro jogo que teve na sequência ali naquele mesmo campo. E agora tô chegando em casa, então é mais um vídeo que vai se encerrando aqui no canal. Agradeço muito pela sua companhia aí em mais um dia de futebol aqui em Budapeste. Espero que vocês tenham gostado, pra galera que é nova aqui no vídeo, que chegou, né, por conta dessa participação especial, vamos dizer assim, do Erőd. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. E para todo mundo que tiver interesse, por favor, fica mais do que à vontade, né, para se inscrever aqui no canal, curtir aqui o conteúdo, também deixar seu comentário. E também fica a recomendação, né, a temporada tá só começando, então um longo ano aí pela frente, também uma longa vida aí pro Erőd, então acompanha aqui o Instagram dele, está aparecendo novamente aqui na tela. E também quem tiver um interesse em entender um pouquinho mais sobre a minha vida como um consulado, vamos dizer assim, do Curitiba. Também fica a minha recomendação aqui no meu Instagram, aqui abaixo aparecendo, CFC Budapeste. Agora é isso, eu tô falando um pouquinho com mais pressa, vou ser sincero, porque tá quase começando o nosso jogo agora, como eu falei. Hoje é dia 21 de setembro aqui. O Curitiba vai jogar não só uma vez, mas 2 vezes hoje. Já quase começando o primeiro vídeo. E é isso, a gente se vê aqui no próximo vídeo de futebol em Budapeste, é nóis.